The single thing that could have helped me save thousands of dollars in groceries over the last few years is to simply look at what I have on hand first before going to the store. I know that sounds simple, but honestly, I was going to the store picking up things we already had on hand, and it was awful. Spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars a week on my family of four. I do not do that anymore. I rarely go over $100 a week now, and I'm gonna show you exactly how I do that step by step. So let's get started this week, and then I'm gonna show you some recipes too. So let's go. The very first thing that I do is get my meal planning journal out, and I'm going to be taking inventory. So I have space in this meal planner for pantry, freezer, and fridge inventory. I recently added some more pages. I designed this myself. It's on Amazon if you'd like to take a look. But while I'm doing that, I also write down which ingredients are about to go bad. Either it's a bag of spinach that has, a date that's coming up pretty soon, or maybe it's some cantaloupe or watermelon that I cut just a few days ago and I have to make sure that we use it. I'm going to put those things down on my top of my list area for my meal planning. This is where I do my meal planning right here. So I'm going to be putting those on the very top so I know I have to use those before they go bad, and they're going to be going into recipes first before I do anything else. If I have something that I know is going to go bad and we can't eat it all in time, I'm going to freeze it. So I have this whole bag of watermelon and I want to make sure that we use it. So I'm going to freeze it and it'll be great for smoothies. So this is just one way that I reduce my waste, is if we're not going to use it, I'll throw it in the freezer to make sure that we can use it later on. All right, here we are in my freezer. So I'm going to go ahead and put away my watermelon, and while I'm in here, I'm actually looking at all of the other things that I have on hand, so I know exactly what I'm going to be cooking with this week. I've got some shrimp, some tofu, I've got pasta sauce, I've got some things that I have meal prepped for breakfast like muffins, I've got some freezer meals like these homemade taquitos, so I know exactly what I have on hand. I'm going to write it all down, and then I'm going to be more prepared when I go to the store. So now we're in my fridge. And the most important thing for me to look at this point is what I've got in here that's about to go bad. I've got a cucumber, I got an avocado in here, some carrots, celery, and some apples. So these are the main things that I need to make sure that I use before they go bad. I do have some cabbage and some shredded carrots that I need to use. So probably gonna have a salad with dinner tonight. Cabbage is great raw or cooked. We like it both ways. And I'll make sure that I use that avocado tonight in dinner as well. And then I've got to make sure I use up the rest of those carrots and celery this week. But if for whatever reason I can't use all the carrots or celery, I do know that I can just chop them up and put them in the freezer like this, so I can easily make soups with them later. I don't have to blanch them or anything like that. I can simply chop them and throw them in there. So that is something I can plan to do if I decide that we just don't want to eat them with dinner this week. And I do want to mention that we are currently 2 days before my shopping trip when I'm doing this. I don't take inventory the day of or the day before because I always find that I'm adding things to my list last minute. So this gives me a chance to kind of rack my brain on what kinds of things we actually want to do this week, or it gives me time to talk to the kids and make sure that they get their requests in before I go to the store. I only go to the store once per week, and everybody knows that if they don't get it on this trip, they're gonna have to wait till the following week for most things. Now, this week, I wanna do some things that are really flavorful and fun. We've been on a pretty strict budget lately, and I've been trying some new recipes that some have worked and some have not worked. So this week, I wanna do more fun things and just really pack in the flavor. So far, I've got pot pie and jambalaya on the list because I do have things that are already on hand that I can use for those recipes, and I really only need to pick up maybe 1 or 2 ingredients for those, so that's great. You can see now that I've written down the carrots and the celery on the top of my meal planning page. So when I'm actually writing down what I want to eat for the week, I know that that's top of mind, and I want to make sure that they use those ingredients first. I have not had enough coffee today, and I want to make sure that I use those ingredients first in some things. I'm not sure what I want to do. So I don't always sit down and create the entire week all at once. Sometimes I just simply start with a couple of things that I know I want to make, and then if I'm stumped, I'm just going to come back to this later, which is what I'm going to do right now because I'm not exactly sure what I want to do for the rest of the week, but I'll definitely show you at the end of this video everything that I made. It's the beginning of the work week for me and my husband, so I like to prep some overnight oats. This is one of my favorite things. Right now I only have 3 jars on hand. I'm washing the rest, but until then we'll just make 3. I like to make enough for maybe 3 or 4 days of oats for both my husband and I when I do this, but I'm just gonna add a 1/2 cup of old-fashioned rolled oats here, and I'm just gonna do equal parts of the oats and the liquid. I'm just using regular organic milk here. It's just 2%. You can use almond milk, soy milk, any kind of milk that you like, coconut milk, or you could even just use water, whatever you want to use. Just do equal parts liquid and oats, and that usually works out pretty good. Oops, maybe don't put some on the counter like I just did. Whatever you want to do though, that's your jam. Go ahead and make a mess. Just kind of put a little more in there. Okay, and then I like to do about 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt. And you don't have to do yogurt, but it adds an extra bit of protein, well, a lot of protein in there, and I love the flavor. It's delicious. I had a friend recently come over who doesn't like oats, and I offered, to have them try overnight oats because they've never had it before, and they actually loved it. So I think if you don't like oats and you think this is not going to be for you, maybe give it a try, because I think it will surprise you, honestly. I know the first time I tried it, I was surprised, and I don't know why I had waited so long to try it. Probably because I just didn't think I liked oatmeal, but I guess I like oatmeal like this. Now I'm going to add a teaspoon of chia seeds. I keep mine in the refrigerator because they last longer. I got these at Aldi. I find that a teaspoon of chia seeds is more than enough for this. Any more than that, it just does not have the right texture. And I'll add a little bit of vanilla extract. This is my homemade vanilla extract. It's a lot cheaper to just make it myself because I got, I think it was 10 vanilla bean pods for $12 on Amazon. I have it in my Amazon storefront if you want to check it out. But I think I only used 2, maybe 2.5 of the pods for this. And then a little bit of vodka, well, a lot of vodka. To fill it up, and I've had this since before Christmas, and I use it all the time. Now I'm just going to be adding some honey. You don't have to use honey, you can use any sweetener that you like. I'm just going to put about a tablespoon or so of honey in each one, and again, you can use any sweetener that you like or no sweetener at all. Maple syrup works really good too if you want to do that. I just recommend using something that you would want to eat raw. So I don't think that sugar works really good in this. I feel like it's got to be honey or maple syrup or something like that. You could possibly use a different kind of syrup, but those are the two that I recommend that I've tried, is honey and maple syrup. So I'm just going to give these a good mix. Then after that, I will put the lid on and put them in the refrigerator, and they last up to 5 days before the texture starts to get a little soggy. So you could, prep these for 5 days worth if you like, but for me 4 days is kind of the limit. So I like to do 3 or 4 days at a time, and then this really only takes me 5 minutes. It's so fast and easy, so it really doesn't make sense to prep more than 4 days in my opinion. And now we have breakfast for the next couple of days. And as soon as more jars are washed, I'm going to make more. And that's it, super easy. So the ad just came, and this is the next thing that I always look at before I go shopping. So this is usually the day before I go shopping, because I like to go shopping on the day where the products get restocked for the ad. That's when I have the most variety to choose from before they sell out of doorbusters and things like that too. So I'm noticing that blackberries are 95 cents, and 3-pack of bell peppers are $1.69. You can get a bag of avocados for $3.49. Grape tomatoes, $1.89. So lots of great deals. Mushrooms, $1.69. I'm just gonna look really quickly at the ad and add a few things to my list so I can make sure I get the right prices on things when I get to the store and make sure that I don't overbuy. Ooh, my chips are on sale. $1.89. Definitely gonna get one of these. Only one this week though. Okay, how much are the eggs? We are looking at $2.27. What a deal. I need to get 1 dozen eggs. Not even on my list. What happened there? I definitely need eggs. I don't have it on my list. Make sure none are broken or stuck. Okay, looks pretty good. $2.27. I love that. Next, I need milk. I like the organic milk. $4.19. Let me get one from the back. Okay, these are both $7.21. The date's much better. 1 and 2. If there were any brown eggs, it'd only be $2.49. And the organic ones are only $3.69 today. That's a good deal. And the free range are $3.39. Do I have Greek yogurt? No Greek yogurt this week. Ah, butter. Okay, $3.69 for a pound. Unsalted butter. Go. I need some kind of sausage, but what kind do I want? I don't think I want any of this sausage. Let me see if I can find a different one. I also need cheese snacks. I like the Gouda ones. Those are $3.55, but the string cheese are usually cheaper. And I also need cheddar. So let me get 1 pound of cheddar. I like the extra sharp cheddar for $3.79. Perfect. $29 for cheddar. And the string cheese is $2.79. Get one from the back. Go. Here. Okay, sausage, cheddar brats. What are these? Chicken breakfast sausage. No, that's not what I need. The tomato basil might work too. Tomato and basil. I feel like maybe just the Italian sausage, but this one's more expensive because it's organic. So I'm just going to go with this one for $3.29, the tomato and basil. Next, I need pie crust, $2.49 for 2. I'll be making 2 pot pies. One is a freezer meal. So I need 2 of these today. Okay, $2.49 for that. Pie crust. Better than I thought it was going to be on the price there. That's always good. There's some good prices on chicken today. Do I want I think I want the chicken breast, $2.19 a pound. Okay, gonna make some chicken pot pie. I'm not eating a ton of meat these days. A little bit here and there. I'm trying to reduce eating meat. I do not like to touch the chicken though. Just need a little bit, I don't need a ton. This will do 3.5 pounds, that'll do. Okay, put that underneath there. Ooh, and then tortillas. What kind do I want? Let's see, are they all the same? 30 count, I love these Romeros, $4.29. What is the date? June 5th. Do I need rice too? Jasmine rice. Oh yeah, 5 pounds of jasmine rice for $5.89. That's gonna be it. And black beans for $2.85 for 2 pounds. Here we go. Let's get one from the back. This is 2 pounds, and I just noticed a Dollar Tree is 12 ounces for $1.25. So this is actually a much better deal. I thought it was 16 ounces, but I just looked today. And so at Aldi, 32 ounces for $2.85, it's a great deal. Beans. Here's the other tortillas, $3.39. Are these just like Romeros? They look almost exactly the same. June 8th, that's not bad. I'm sure I'll use them before then. Okay, so I'm gonna get these ones instead for $3.39 at 24 count, because I really don't need 30. I feel like they're exactly the same too. Okay. Perfect. I need to get sriracha because I hear that they're going to have a shortage again. $2.09 for pretzels. Did the price go up? Wasn't it $1.99? I swear the price went up on that. I don't need honey. And I don't need peanut butter because I'm going to make my own peanut butter again. I'm obsessed with doing that. Ooh, let's see if they have sriracha. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and grab it. The other kind of, oh my gosh, look at the difference in the color here. Oh no, maybe not. Wait, doesn't this one look a little darker than that one? I think I want to use the lighter one. Good, I'm actually going to get 2. I'm probably going to go over budget because of the sriracha. Okay, next is peanuts, $2.19 for a pound. Let's get one from the back here. Good until 2026. I was gonna get oats, but now I'm thinking I'll get bread instead of oats this week. I've been doing a lot of overnight oats, but I have a little bit of oats left to do that. So maybe I'll just do a few less and do bread instead and save maybe $1 by doing that too, because the kids can have peanut butter on toast. That could work. Get my favorite bread. $2.29 brioche, multigrain brioche. This one back here, what is it? I like the multigrain. The kids like this one better. I don't see a price. We get more with this one, 24 ounces, and this one's 20 ounces. I feel like this is also $2.29. Okay, so I will just get this buttermilk bread then here. Next is blackberries, 95 cents for blackberries. Gonna get a couple of these. Strawberries are $1.28. What? Okay, gotta get one of these for sure. I was thinking about just getting one potato for 87 cents a pound. I think I'm actually changing my mind again. I'll get the gold potatoes for $4.29 for 5 pounds because I just like the way that they taste better. And I don't have to peel them, so it's a little bit faster, a little easier. The pears are on sale for $3.67. I think I'll have to get a bag too. All right, then the last thing is corn. Where is it? $1.15. Perfect. And this is everything. Okay, hopefully we're on budget today. Let's go see. I've never seen this before. Spiral fries. Oh my gosh, those look incredible. $3.79. I'm really tempted. Maybe I'll just get one to try. Oh my gosh, and they're seasoned curly fries. Oh my gosh. Okay, this has got to be it. This has got to be the last thing for sure. Okay, that's got to be it for sure. Plus the chicken is on the bottom. Oh my gosh, I definitely went over budget again. So I definitely went over budget today, $80.80. And this is why I'm always saying to stick to the list, because when you go off list and get, say, hot sauce and curly fries, then you end up spending over your budget. So I easily would have done under budget if I didn't get those items. So $80.80 for today. So the first thing that I want to do is make my chicken pot pie recipe, because I can make 2 pies plus some of the filling is going to be extra and will be perfect for lunches the next day. So I really want to get that done and have a freezer meal in the freezer in case we need it. And this is one of my favorite meals of all time. Super comforting, comes out perfect every single time. So first I'm just going to chop my gold potatoes and cube my chicken breast and add those to a giant pot, pouring in what's left over of a bag of mixed veggies. And then for the rest of the veggies that I needed, I'm adding a little bit of frozen corn and frozen peas, and I'm using some pre-made pie crusts here. You can see they're from Aldi, comes in a 2-pack. They're usually in the freezer. And now I'm going to start my filling. So this is a very comforting filling meal. So just so you know, there's going to be a lot of butter and things like this. We're essentially making a roux here. I'm going to melt the butter and add the onions to a really large high-sided pan. That's really important. You can use a stock pot instead. Once the onions are soft and translucent, I add my flour and seasonings. I'm just doing salt, pepper, and just a tiny bit of salt, and you'll see in a minute, and poultry seasoning. And I'm going to cook out that flour flavor. Very important. I'm going to cook that flour for about 5 minutes to make sure that flour flavor is gone. We don't want to taste flour in the filling, so we're getting it nice and toasty and brown. Then I'm going to add some chicken broth. Now I don't have chicken broth in hand. I'm just using water and some bouillon mixed together. That is one of my favorite little tips and tricks for, adding some extra flavor, is just using the bouillon cubes. If you don't like that, you can do soy sauce and water instead, or of course, chicken broth, veggie broth, whatever you like. Then I'll add milk, and you can do milk substitutes instead. Whatever you have on hand or whatever you like to do for your specific taste, it'll turn out amazing. Now the secret to the filling is to make sure we add the liquid a little bit at a time and mix it all in completely, so that way we don't get lumps. And we're just going to let that simmer and thicken for a few minutes while we check on all of the rest of our ingredients. They've been simmering on the stove now for about 12 minutes, and I'll just check the potatoes and make sure they're easy to pierce. When they're just like this, that means everything is ready to be strained and then added to the filling. Yes, it is as simple as that to make pot pie. I'm not even kidding. It is so easy. You can make your pie crust from scratch too. It actually is not that much time involved, but it is extra work, and I just love this little shortcut, and really this pie crust tastes incredible. So I have not been able to make a better pie crust. I'm just going to put some of that filling all the way to the top and cover it with one of these other pie crusts you saw me pick up at Aldi, and then I'll cut away the excess. If I had extra time today, I usually like to cut the excess into fun little shapes and put those on top. I was in a hurry though. I just cut some slits in the top to let steam out, pinched it closed, and put that in the oven. And with the other one, I filled it up and put it in the refrigerator for about a few hours or so, just to let it chill before I put on the other pie crust and pinched it. Now I had a little extra time when I did this one, so I made sure to cut out those shapes. That is a request from my kids. They love little shapes. I'm doing snowflakes this time at request, but sometimes I'll do Mickey shapes or bunnies. If it's a certain holiday, I'll do a certain shape. It's really fun. Then I just like to make sure I get it nice and wrapped in wax paper and then in foil. And this just keeps it nice and fresh. It lasts 3 months or even more than that. It's just some of the flavors and textures start to deteriorate after 3 months, but you can still eat it after that. I just like to get it used within 3 months or so. And I'll put instructions on that too, so I remember how to cook it, and then I can reuse the foil too after that. But look at this pie. It's nice and golden brown. The middle is nice and bubbly. And if you let it set, it will be beautiful pie. But if you couldn't cut into it right away because we were in a hurry, it just kind of spills out. So that's a tip. Let it rest for at least 10 minutes and it'll look like this when you cut into it. It is so delicious. Next, I'm actually making something totally different using some of these bell peppers from the freezer. I just throw the bell peppers in the freezer whole. I don't do anything to them. If I'm not going to use them in time and they start getting kind of wrinkly, I'll just throw them in the freezer just like that. So you can definitely do that if you like. Then I'm getting some of these carrots out of the fridge. I have a ton of homegrown carrots that I'm using for this, so I didn't have to pick up any in the store. I have too many carrots on hand, so I just added this. This is supposed to be the night I was making jambalaya, but my husband actually went out of town and things totally changed. So I'm actually just making a meal for myself and the kids. And I'm not going to make jambalaya because my kids don't like that. It's spicy. I have a really great recipe. It's incredible. But instead, I am just going to be making some roasted carrots in the oven. And then I'm just going to be doing a sheet pan meal with that sausage and an onion and those bell peppers from the freezer. For the carrots, I'm just slicing them and tossing them with oil and salt. The kids don't like pepper, so I just skipped that this time. And they're going to get super sweet in the oven, roasted. They're so delicious. If you haven't tried carrots like that, definitely do that. Next, I'm just going to prep my onions. I'm just going to chop them in some relatively thick pieces because I like them to still have a bite after they've been in the oven for a little while. You can make them thinner though if you like. Then I'll slice my bell peppers. They've only been on the cutting board here for about 5 minutes after I rinsed them straight from the freezer. Look at this crazy bell pepper, by the way. It was growing like a couple bell peppers inside. It's just crazy. Just one of the joys of cooking. Get to find some interesting things here with food. Anywho, I'm just going to cut off the sides of the bell pepper and then slice them. And again, in thicker pieces because I like my veggies to not get overcooked. I don't like them mushy, so I'm going to make sure that they're pretty, wide pieces, about 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Then I'll toss them with some avocado oil. You can use any neutral oil that you like. Then just a little bit of salt and pepper and some other seasonings, oregano, onion powder, garlic powder, parsley. And you can really do any seasonings that you love, but these are the ones that I love. Paprika, of course, and some pepper. Now, this is just going to be for me. I'm eating these veggies. My kids are super picky. Onions, bell peppers are not things that they eat, but if your family does, this is a really great way to prep them. It's super easy. I'm just going to put those on the sheet tray and get them evened out in an even layer or so. And next, I'm going to slice the sausage. And interestingly, I started slicing it and then realized that there was cheese inside. So I thought, well, it's probably not a good idea to slice them. So I actually only sliced the one and I put that on the sheet tray with the veggies after the veggies have been in there for about 10 to 15 minutes or so, maybe 20 minutes. And I decided to add the other sausages whole because of the cheese. I didn't want the cheese kind of spilling out everywhere. So it'll just depend, but I've done kielbasa like this in the past where I've just sliced it and put it on and it really cooks pretty quickly. So this is one of the easiest easiest meals to make. And these are the carrots. I know they look a little bit crispy, but that's how I like them. You can cook them any way you like. And then I just served everything on some leftover rice that I had in the freezer. And that was it for this dinner. So fast and easy. This next dinner idea, I think I saw something similar to this in a reel. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's so easy. I'm going to give that a try and see how it tastes, to experiment for some of my $1 meal videos that are coming up soon. So make sure you have your bell on for notifications for that video, because I do have a $1 meal video coming up soon. But this is me experimenting with this. I am just putting some frozen corn, a can of beans that I've rinsed and drained, some taco seasoning and cheese in a bowl, and I'm mixing that up. And I'm just going to put a tortilla down because I didn't end up using the tortillas for anything else except for quesadillas this week. I made a regular one for the kids, and for me, I added all of this filling here to this tortilla and then just let that cook on both sides. And that's it for this. You can add some Greek yogurt, sour cream on top. It was pretty good. I think it was missing a little something, but I will share another recipe similar to this soon. So stay tuned for that. Now, in the spirit of experimenting, because I am actually just a single adult and 2 little kids this week, I decided to freeze all of the rest of the filling since my kids didn't eat it. It's just me. So I froze it, and it was super easy to just scoop out, put in a bowl, and microwave. And then I just toasted a tortilla on the stovetop until it was nice and warm. And I actually put that filling straight into the tortilla and made a burrito. And you can see how cheesy this is after it comes out of the microwave. So this could be a really great way to make a meal for a single person, to just have that all in a bag in a freezer and be able to just heat the portion as needed. So I actually really enjoyed this way. So I didn't really love the quesadilla, but I did like this burrito as it is. I added some hot sauce, but I think this is a great jumping off point and a great way to use those leftovers and kind of make them into something different. And I think that's a really important skill to have when, especially if you're, eating for one and trying to make different meals out of the same ingredients. So it really is really nice to think outside the box and try things differently and just find out what you love and find new recipes that are really fast and easy like this one. And so I was excited to kind of discover something new here. So you may have noticed I did not use all of those ingredients I picked up at the store. So I do have lots of tortillas left over. They are in the refrigerator. I have my meal plan here on the fridge that didn't quite go to plan. I still have lots of those ingredients. I put some of them in the freezer. I do have this chicken waiting for me to make some pho with it or something else. So I have some chicken. I still have some of the leftover beans and corn in here as well for another meal. And we did dig into some of the taquitos too for a freezer meal this week. And I still have lots of bell peppers, some frozen tomatoes that I froze whole, some zucchini, lots of veggies left over that I can work with. Plus I still have some potatoes too. And this is really the way that I save thousands of dollars now, is I just freeze things when we're not going to use it and just kind of think on the fly and make things that are maybe unconventional or different or use few ingredients. If plans change, I just kind of go with it and I figure it out. I look at the pantry and I figure out what I can make that might be easy or might fill our bellies on the fly. And I really love to challenge myself to use just a little bit of odds and ends here and there and finish up frozen bags of veggies or make something different that I can put in the freezer for later. I like to really think outside the box and look for new recipes on the internet all the time using things that I have on hand. So I hope you are able to find some inspiration from this video and find a few things that you might want to try in your kitchen. I really hope you try that pot pie too. Make sure that you are subscribed and you have that bell on for notification. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, of course. It really helps my channel. I do have a digital product coming out soon too, so I'm really excited to share that soon, and hopefully I'll be able to release that in the next video. So stay tuned. I've got lots of great things coming up, and if you need more inspiration, I've got more meal plans and lots of budget-friendly recipes on my channel. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.